This is the Flathead Valley Sports Haven, a brand new segment where I highlight current and former Flathead Valley area players, coaches, and sports figures celebrating the best athletics our valley has to offer. The Flathead Valley Sports Haven is powered by Logan Health, and today's guest is a very special one that I'm kind of geeking out about. Super Bowl champion, a Glacier High School graduate, University of Montana Grizzly, the legendary Patrick O'Connell. Patrick, first of all, thank you for taking the time out of your day. I know your schedule is busy to join me here today.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Can't wait.
Let's just start off with what does it mean to you to be an NFL athlete that's from the Flathead Valley?
Yeah, to me, I think that's honestly one of the most important things to me is taking pride in where I'm from, being from Kalispell, obviously being from Montana, having the whole community of Kalispell, whole state of Montana behind me. Obviously, I feel all the support no matter where I am. So that's what I take the most pride in, is being from Montana. Obviously, not a lot of guys make it out of here, especially to the NFL, and it's an honor to be from here.
Yeah, I just looked it up. You were one of 4 athletes from the Flathead Valley to make it to the NFL. Yeah. Lex Hilliard, Brock Osweiler, the third one I can't find at the moment. But
wasn't it McFarland?
Yeah,
is that the one we talked about?
Yeah, something like that, or McCollum or something.
Okay.
But anyway, what does it mean to be a part of just a small contingency like that?
Honestly, it means just it goes to show that there is talent here. It goes to show that that anyone out there, if they put the hard work in and they stay determined and stay focused on what they want to do, that they can make it out. Obviously, there's just, like I said, I have so much support from the community, and that was a big part. Everyone keeping me up throughout my whole career. It wasn't easy, but that's just the way it goes for guys like me. And it just means the world to me to be able to come from a small town like this and make it to the big show.
Yeah, the other two, Dylan McFarland, Sam McCollum.
There it is, yeah.
And then, you, Lex Hilliard, and Brock Osweiler. Do you have a rapport with those guys? Are you guys able to kind of get... I know they were a little bit older than you, but is there any... Have you guys had like that relationship yet, I guess?
No, but there's family ties in there. Obviously, my sister went to high school with Brock, so I grew up watching him play football and basketball, which is awesome. I always looked up to him. And then same thing with Lex. Our families knew each other. Some of my older siblings went to daycare and stuff with him, which is cool. So watching him at the Grizz was awesome. And then McFarland, I've had ties with their family as well through baseball. My brother's a baseball coach, and his dad and some of his brothers and everything are baseball coaches as well, or they were. So it's cool to know all those families and being able to share those moments with them as well.
How about let's go back to your high school days. Glacier graduate. Glacier just won the state championship this last fall season. Take me through, how did going to Glacier High School, how did being from Kalispell really shape you into the person you are?
Yeah, I think it probably came from the coaches and all the support staff that they had for us at Glacier and everything. Teachers, whether it be counselors or coaches, everything like that. Like I said, all those people were the ones that shaped me into who I am, and they taught me these values and these lessons and these morals that I've kept with me throughout the whole time. So Glacier High School is obviously a special place. There's a lot of special people over there who care about the kids and their success, so that it shaped me into who I am today, and I'm forever grateful for that.
I love that. Going back to your days, looking at some of your stats here, you weren't just good at the high school level. You were pretty darn dominant. 135 tackles in Montana Class AA. You played linebacker. I think you played running back and fullback. Were you on that 2014 championship team too then? Were you a starter then?
No,
I
wasn't
at the time,
a starter.
Were you on that roster?
I was there. I was a sophomore, so it was more like special teams role. And, I actually did play a good amount of linebacker because we were obviously killing everyone. So it was pretty cool I think that's a big reason why I was able to stand out junior and senior year, just was those reps that I got as a sophomore, which was cool.
And then take me through, let's go into the college recruiting process a little bit. Did you always know that you wanted to be a Grizz? What was that recruiting process like?
It definitely wasn't an easy process for sure. I was definitely overlooked. Not a lot of colleges were looking for a 6'1", 200-pound linebacker at the time. I don't know. It's just I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do either. I was looking for schools where I could play football and baseball. Obviously, I always tell people that baseball is my first passion, and I still love it today. And so I was looking at smaller, NAIA D2 type schools so I could play both. I had a walk-on offer at the Cats, and I didn't have anything from the Grizz. And obviously, growing up a Grizz fan, that was pretty disappointing. I had some other opportunities to play D1 baseball, strictly just baseball, like North Dakota State, South Dakota State, other places like that. And then in the end, I ended up getting an offer from the University of Mary in Bismarck, North Dakota for football and baseball. I decided to go there. And, the recruiting process it was full of ups and downs, and I had no idea what I was going to do. I didn't even have an idea of what I wanted to do, basically, at the time. So it definitely didn't help me, though.
So take me through the baseball journey a little bit. What was that like growing up, and how hard was it? I mean, obviously, when hindsight's 2020, when you look at you win a Super Bowl, you're in the NFL type of thing. But how hard was it to give up baseball, and why did you give up baseball? Yeah,
it was definitely probably the hardest decision I had to make at that time in my life. I was only 18 years old, so I hadn't had to make a lot of hard decisions, but it definitely was. Growing up, me and my brothers, we all played baseball, and it was something that we could all, share memories on and share stories about and everything. And I just basically grew up on a baseball diamond, so that was my first love and first passion. So that's why I wanted to go play both sports in college. I didn't know, like I said, I didn't know which path I wanted to take, so I wanted to try both. But after the first semester of football, I just decided that it was time. And I decided I liked football more at that time, and I could see like a more straight path for me. It was hard. Both coaching staffs got fired when I was at the University of Mary, and I just didn't like the current coach that was there at the time. He was kind of a old school guy, and mother effing this and all that, blah blah blah. So it was like it was hard to see a future through that. And so that just led me to the football path.
Before we get into the football, talk to me about obviously being from Kalispell and everything. You probably played at that Flathead Valley Sports Complex. Give me an idea of some of the. I mean, we've had some great baseball fields. I don't know if you remember the rock pile in Whitefish, type of thing. But what are your maybe some of those memories of playing on some of the fields here in the valley?
Yeah, so when I was playing down at the Little League fields, there was just the upper section. The lower section wasn't there with the I guess that would be like T-ball and all those guys now, or the pitching machine.
Yep.
So I was up top the whole time, which was awesome. We lived right above the hill, so I would ride my bike to practice and games and everything. And even when I wasn't playing, I would go down there and just watch games. So that's what I did for fun. So played up on those the little fields up there. Obviously, the football fields are there too, so I played there as well. But as far as baseball goes, playing up there and then moving over to Babe Ruth for 1 year. I only did Babe Ruth for that 1 year, and then moved to Lakers for 4 years, which was nice. Like I said, baseball was just always what I loved at the time.
That's fantastic. Yeah. How about, before we get to it, I might as well just ask you, since we're on the baseball subject, how great is it to see high school baseball exploding the way it is? Especially, I mean, you got to throw out the first pitch for Glacier's inaugural game. That had to be amazing too.
Yeah, it was really cool. What an honor to be able to throw out the first pitch for them. I did a radio interview last week at their game, and it's just such a great thing for Kalispell and for Montana to be able to showcase those athletes more now at a higher level. Those guys can obviously get more recruited now, which is really cool. They're not just playing Legion. Nothing wrong with Legion, obviously. That's what we've done for the last however many years. So, but it's really cool to be able to get high school baseball here in Montana and in Kalispell, and I think people will start to see that there's real talent and that there's real development here in baseball, and it's going to be great for kids and for the whole community.
I love it. So you go to St. Mary's. It doesn't work out and everything. Was the Grizz the first choice? You said they weren't looking at you initially. The Cats were. How did you become a Grizz then? Yeah,
so I kind of just compiled a list of teams I wanted to reach out to, and it was mostly teams in the Big Sky. It was some of the higher seeded like NAIA schools and stuff, but I knew I wanted to challenge myself, and that's why I obviously reached out to a bunch of the Big Sky schools. And well, first back in that time, you had to be released from your team and stuff. There was no transfer portal or anything, and I knew I would have to sit out a year wherever I went because of the rules and everything. So there was always that, but to me that didn't matter because I already played as a true freshman. I'm like, I still have a year to sit out and stuff, use my red shirt, which is nice. And actually at first it was more like I was leaning more towards the Cats because they were still the ones that were like, hey, we got a spot for you this time. It's like guaranteed. And the Grizz were just like, yeah, you can show up for winter conditioning, you can try out, and there's obviously no guarantees. You're like, I wasn't even on the team. I was just there to try out with street clothes on and stuff. And I'm like, all right, well, I was always a Grizz fan growing up, and I'm like, I can't go to the Cats. So I just took the chance, and the rest is history.
I love it. What was that tryout like? What was it like to walk on like that?
Extremely hard. It was the infamous Bobby Houck winter conditioning for those people that know. It's very tough, obviously, but I knew from the moment I stepped in that door that it was going to be the right place for me, just the hard work and everything that it took to be able to make the team. And, it was I think we did 4 weeks of winter conditioning 2 times a week, and obviously we're there at 5:30 in the morning. It's basically like doing like military drills and stuff like that. We got these mats, the mats out, you're yelling, you're screaming, you're rolling all over the place, doing bear crawls and everything. And it's basically just to see, how tough you are mentally and physically. He's trying to, root out the weak-minded and stuff, which is obviously his style of coaching for people that know. And it wasn't easy at all. But once we got through winter conditioning, they asked me to go out to spring ball practices. Obviously, I love that. It was a great opportunity. And, like I said, the rest is history after that. So
yeah, the career numbers kind of speak for themselves. 242 total tackles, 45 tackles for a loss, 28.5 sacks, 2 interceptions, 5 forced fumbles, 4 fumble recoveries, a touchdown. 2021 was kind of the breakout year where you had 105 tackles. Buck Buchanan Award finalist, top defensive player in the FCS. You currently rank 4th all-time in tackles for a loss and 6th all-time in sacks. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, that's awesome.
I was take me through those playing days. What was it like to wear the maroon and silver? What was it like to play for the team that you grew up idolizing?
Oh, yeah, obviously it was a dream come true, being able to run out of that tunnel when we're at home on Saturdays.
Bring them out.
Absolutely, yeah. Growing up, going to games with my dad and my brothers, most of the time we sat in the north end zone, so that always has a spot in my heart. I love the north end zone. Shout out to them. Obviously dream come true playing for the Grizz, growing up watching them, going to see the games, like I said. But, it just was a testament to the hard work and all the stick-to-itiveness that I put into it. And, it was, like I said, the only way I can really explain it is just there's a dream come true. Just knowing that me as a younger kid would have been so proud to see like all the work I put in to get to just to be able to play one snap of college football, basically. Like, the first time I ever stepped foot on field, like Coach Houck brought me in. He's like, how hard it is to just even take one snap of Division I college football. And I'm like, I guess I know how hard it is now. So yeah, it was truly special.
It's funny because like walking on like that, you don't hear many stories. Mark Mariani might be one of the biggest walk-on stories in Montana football history. You got to be right up there with that to be kind of in that kind of echelon. What do you think when you hear that kind of thing?
It's definitely an honor. Just being able to be mentioned with, especially Mark. He's a Pro Bowler in the NFL, and I looked up to him growing up, and.
From another small town, Havre, Montana.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what a cool story he has. And actually, we share texts every now and then. And I've seen him in Tennessee a couple times, and pretty cool to be able to talk to him. And I just always tell him, like, hey, I'm just trying to be like you. And that's the way it goes. But no, what an honor to be even mentioned with someone like him. And there's plenty other guys out there, obviously, that have walked on and been successful, which is really cool to see. And it's just a testament to Montana and the culture that they build and the hard work that all Montanans share.
It also goes to show that no matter how good you are, NFL is going to find you. I mean, there's a huge pipeline of Grizz and even Cats players that go to the NFL. You're from a small contingency from the Flathead Valley to make it to the NFL. I mean, it's not like that Grizz are spurting 30 players a year to the NFL like a Georgia, but to be at Montana, you have a chance to go pro. To be a part of that kind of contingency as a part of the Grizz, that's got to be pretty special. Yeah, for sure it is. Obviously, you hit it right on the head. It's like when you go to Montana, that there's a standard, that there's a chance that you have to be able to obviously be special and make plays out on the field on Saturdays, but that leads to these opportunities and chances to be able to perform on Sundays as well. And Coach Hauk said it, kind of after my senior year. Someone asked him, like, do you think he has a chance and a shot? And he said, yeah, I mean, he definitely has a good shot to be able to get the chance to play and stuff. And, it was obviously true. And, but like you said, it's a small – there's not that many guys every year, but you see that it happens, year in and year out. There's guys that go and – there's always 2 or 3 or 4. Yeah, exactly. You get your chance and your shot, and that's all you need, and guys take it and run with it. So I asked you this off there. I'll ask you this now. At what point did you know that the NFL was a path for you? I mean, we hear it all the time when you're growing up. Hey, put your head down, go to work, and anything can happen. Obviously, you have to be blessed with some pretty incredible talent and everything, too. So at what point did the dream of playing in the NFL become, hey, I actually can play in the NFL? Yeah, so it was definitely my junior year going in. The first game of the year, we played Washington, and obviously they were ranked number 20 in the nation at the FBS level, and we're coming in the little FCS underdogs and stuff. So we're unsure of what's going to happen, and I always tell people the story, like, first drive, they go down and they just are running the ball right down our throats. I'm like, oh, this can be a long day. But then we settled in, and stuff started going our way, and we were making plays, and I specifically was starting to make plays along with everyone else. But I was just like, I could see from that moment, like, I can hang with these guys. I'm beating these guys. Like, I'm getting sacks and TFLs, and I'm having big hits on the running backs and everything. And from that moment forward, I basically, like, knew that it was there was going to be an opportunity, a chance. And then obviously the whole junior campaign, like you said, it was one of the better ones. So from that moment forward, I knew there was going to be a real opportunity. Let's talk about that game a little bit. Sorry, Washington fans. I like the Huskies. I root for the Huskies, but it's always Grizz first. That win, how do you put into context how big of a win that was for the Grizz program? Man, obviously a huge win. There's not a lot of words to even describe, like, how we felt after, except for just the pure joy and happiness. Because honestly, though, before we went into that game, we just kept talking about how, like, if we, like, it's hard to say, but, like, we kept saying, like, we know we can do this. We know we have a great team. We know we can go in there and beat them. We knew, like, they had, like, stuff that we could expose and stuff. Which sounds weird saying, obviously, as an FCS school going into a top 20 program and beating them, but we knew, like, the mindset that we had, we could match up with them. And then obviously just the trajectory that the program had from there. It was special for the program, obviously. Big win for the Grizz and for Coach Hauk and for all the players and everything. So, yeah, and then like we said earlier, it was just like the year after Washington's playing in the national championship. So I guess you guys kind of helped springboard them. Yeah, they can thank the Grizzlies for getting to the Natty, I guess. Do you know any of the guys on that Washington team that you still maybe talk smack with a little bit here and there? There's definitely guys I've talked to, like, throughout the league that were on that team, and I'm like, yeah, sorry, well, we beat you that year, but. Yeah, there's some guys I like to talk smack to. Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. Yeah. How about something that kind of gets lost in that too that we haven't even touched on is the Grizz fandom, the way that Grizzly fans travel. I know Cats fans travel, but there's nothing like the way Grizz fans travel. Do you still see Grizz fans even in the NFL now? Do you still see? I mean, you see Grizz gear in Seattle all the time. What's it like to, I guess, still see that? Yeah, it's awesome. Obviously, Grizz Nation is well represented, well traveled, and shout out to them for always being
the best fans in the world. But like you said, I see him in Seattle. There'll be people standing on the railings, like yelling at me, like Patrick. You know, he shows me their Grizz shirt and stuff like that, or they yell that they're from Montana, which is awesome. And it just goes to show the whole state of Montana really cares about the people that come from Montana, especially, which is really awesome. And it's an honor and a blessing to be able to represent like I say all the time, the greatest state in the U.S. So. If you haven't been here, obviously people don't know, and they're like, I don't even know where Montana is. So, it's awesome to be able to represent Montana.
What was it? Michigan basketball played the Grizz, I think, in the first round of the NCAA tournament a couple of years ago. It was 2 years in a row, and 2 years in a row. Hey, what do you know about Montana? I didn't even know Montana was a state.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Before we get into the draft protocol, since we're on the Grizz right now, how about, this might be the toughest question I ask you all day, is give me who's your Mount Rushmore of Montana Grizz linebackers, and we'll go post 2000, so 2000 Perfect. To 2026, because obviously it's hard to go back hundreds of years. So from 2000 on, who would be your Mount Rushmore of Montana Grizz linebackers? And yes, you can say yourself. I'll allow that.
I'm going to save myself. Let's see. I would go definitely Brock Coyle. Shout out him. He was like a big mentor for me as well, growing up, and then throughout the whole draft process, and I still keep up with him today. Jordan Tripp, he's an awesome guy. I actually just saw him down in California, which is funny.
He's on TV now.
Yeah. We were on vacation, and I saw him down there. He was on vacation as well.
That's awesome.
And then I'll go, I think, probably Dante Olson. He had his shot with the Eagles, which was awesome, and he was did he win the Buck? I forgot.
I think he did.
Yeah, he was up for it his junior year, and then he ended up winning it his senior year. Dante's an awesome dude. And then I think I'm going to go probably Jace Lewis. He's definitely
there we go.
Underrated, but one of the toughest kids I've ever played with. He's a tough SOB, and coaches love him. All the players love him. Just a great guy, and obviously he performed well on the field. It was just, there's guys coming in that, it's just hard when you have so many good linebackers coming out there. So, yeah.
I mean, Grizz is kind of linebacker you.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And then how about an honorable mention?
Honorable mention, let's see. Oh, I don't know. There's so many good ones, like when I was growing up.
How about give me one from earlier 2000s? Who's someone from the earlier 2000s that kind of sticks out to you?
I'm trying to think. Because those guys were like the prime of when I was watching, like Coyle and Tripp. For some reason, I always remember, was it Kosei? Jeremiah Kosei?
Okay.
Yeah. I don't really have an honorable mention, though, honestly.
No, that's a good one.
He's
right
a good
there.
one. Yeah, so I'll just say him.
It's not very often I get to ask this either, because we know the legacy of the 37 jersey and everything, how it's passed down to a Montana-born player each and every year. Talk to me about, because I only know what I know on the outside, but give me a little insight into that 37 jersey. I know that's an incredible honor to get to wear that, and what each the last player who wore it gets to choose the next player, right? What's that 37 legacy jersey? What does that mean to the locker room? What does that mean to the guys that are in that fight with him each and every day?
I think it probably means more to the fans and the outsiders, honestly, but it is still a really big deal, obviously. Obviously, when I found out I wasn't going to wear it, I was bummed. I was really bummed, but went to one of my best buddies, and he's still one of my best friends today, Marcus Wellnell. So, no, it means the world to all the Montana kids to be able to represent that number 37. Obviously, there's so many great players throughout the history of the program that have worn it, and it just keeps, like you said, getting handed down from player to player. There's no fans, no coaches, no administrators, whatever. None of them have a say in it. Which is awesome. It's straight off of respect and, someone you think will represent that jersey well. It just gets handed down to the next generation, which is awesome. And, like I said, it represents that Montana pride and someone who takes pride in being from Montana and wearing that Montana across their chest.
You're listening to the Flathead Valley Sports Haven. We'll roll along with Patrick O'Connell, Super Bowl winner of the Seattle Seahawks, after this word from Logan Health.
Is pain or weakness holding you back? When the pain cramps your lifestyle, consider joint replacement. At Logan Health Orthopedics, their total joint program provides proper education, support, and guidance during your journey. Orthopedic nurse navigators walk you through the entire process, from decision to recovery. Their surgeons use the latest technology to get you back to activity quickly with less pain and fewer restrictions. Visit logan.org/ortho to learn more. Get back to what you love with Logan Health Orthopedics.
Back from the break here on the Flathead Valley Sports Haven. Once again, Cole Havens here, joined by Super Bowl winner of the Seattle Seahawks, Montana Grizz legend, and Glacier great Patrick O'Connell. All right, let's go into the draft process. You're from University of Montana, Missoula, literally a place that 99% of the world doesn't even know about, and you have a chance to go to the NFL. Take me through the draft process, what that was like, talking with scouts, and honestly, just give me that from the end of your senior year of college to, in a sense, draft day.
Yeah, so obviously it starts with, for most guys, signing with an agent and everything. I was fortunate enough to be able to pick mine and obviously have guys, a lot of guys reaching out, which was awesome. So signing with him and then from there I was going down to Orlando, Florida to train, which was awesome to be able to be down there in great weather, obviously, and being in the sun every single day. It just feels great down there. Just the daily grind was it was basically Monday through Saturday, obviously taking Sunday off, and Wednesday was more like a kind of recovery day. See the chiropractor, stretching, doing like pool workouts, stuff like that. Yep. But yeah, the daily grind was awesome. Getting ready for pro day. Obviously, I didn't get a combine invite, which was disappointing. Going back to the senior year, I got hurt, which was unfortunate because I was already having a better senior year than my junior year, so I was obviously expecting big things, but it probably derailed it a little bit. Being able to go to the combine and obviously hurt the draft stock a little bit.
You got to do your pro day in Missoula, right?
Yep. So after I was done training in Orlando, came back, get acclimated to the Montana weather again, and so I was back here for a week in Missoula, just training at the facility down there. And so once pro day rolled around, it was all of my energy and focus towards that. And that was probably one of the main reasons why I got a good chance at the NFL was putting up good pro day numbers, which was awesome.
That basically operates like a mini combine, correct?
Yeah, you're doing all the same things. It's just that these teams choose to come to watch you. I think it was like either 15 or 18 teams there, which it was pretty good. So obviously performing there and then having these little interviews afterwards with certain teams, and it was kind of like a big circle, and I was kind of like in the middle, just like they were just like firing random questions around, and that was really cool to be a part of that. It was just fun being able to showcase like what I can actually do. I think guys probably had a lot of uncertainties that they didn't know. Like they just see like I said earlier, a 6'1", 6'2" white linebacker coming out of Montana, and they have no idea. So I had to put on a little bit for him.
And then I know you didn't get selected in the draft. You got to go as an undrafted free agent. But doesn't that allow you to have a little bit more flexibility of where you go as an undrafted free agent? Do you think that helped you get to Seattle? Was Seattle on your radar? Did they talk to you? Were you on their radar? How did that all unfold?
Well, I must have been on their radar apparently. So I didn't think I was going there at all. Like there were certain teams that I'd been talking to throughout the whole draft process, and honestly, there was times where I thought maybe that some of those teams were going to select me in a late round, like 7th round or whatever. But Seattle wasn't even a team I had talked to, or they didn't hit me up once, and it was just once my agent called me, he said that Seattle wanted to sign me, and I didn't even think about it at the time. Let's go right away. Let's do it. And it just gave me the best opportunity as far as the linebacker depth and what they had on the roster already, which was awesome. And no hesitation, just sign right there. And there was other teams obviously I could pick from too, but it was that was the best opportunity.
Yeah, and I was going to say it also helps that you're probably a Seattle fan in general, so that probably played a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. It was just the familiarity with Seattle and just like growing up, going to games and stuff. It was a no-brainer. And just like when I showed up there, it was like it didn't feel any different than like just I don't know. It just felt like it was like my second home. It was weird.
I feel like just kind of seeing your career unfold, you've made a career out of working hard and outworking people. You obviously went to Glacier High School, which compared to 49 other states, that's nothing. Yeah. You were a walk-on to an FCS program, to a Big Sky Conference school. To the outside world, looks like nothing type of thing. In a sense, you walk on to Seattle being an undrafted free agent. How have you been able to kind of use maybe that chip on your shoulder as what's been able to, I know obviously you have a ton of talent. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is how has that maybe helped you be able to carve out the career that you have, knowing that in a sense you've had to work for everything? Yeah,
absolutely. I think it all started with just the mindset of it all. Obviously just being overlooked my whole career. I've had to, like you said, experience it at every single level. Which has helped me along the way. And I've just grown tremendously, obviously mentally and physically along the way. Just keep adding, tools to my toolbox along the way, which is awesome. I wouldn't have it any other way, honestly. Like this is the way I do things. I always work hard towards everything that I earn. Nothing's been given to me my whole career, which is, not everyone can say that, it's special to be able to have that in the back of my mind. And then it just keeps me working hard every single day, basically. It's like, I know I have to do this a certain way because if I don't, then someone else will be outworking me. And that lets them in the door, and I don't want that to happen. So it's just that mindset.
I love that.
Yeah, so every single day, just keeping that on the back of my mind.
Absolutely love that. What's the old adage? Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Talk to me about what would be... you've probably spoken. Obviously, you and Coach Bennett are probably pretty close. You probably talk to him a lot. I imagine you've probably talked to some up-and-coming kids at Glacier and whatnot. What's your biggest advice to maybe an aspiring varsity athlete, maybe a guy that wants to go to the collegiate level? What would be your biggest advice? Because you've literally been in their shoes.
It's funny you bring that up. There's the Shrine Game welcome dinner tonight. I'm actually speaking at that tonight because Coach Bennett's, he's the West head coach. So anyway, so I'll talk a little bit about that tonight too, which is funny you bring it up. But
it's different when they hear it from someone like you that's literally walked through the doors, that's driven on 93.
They can sit there and listen to coaches and everything. And like you said, it's just different when it comes from someone that's done it. So I would say it's always hard because you got to kind of take it with a grain of salt, but it's like you don't care what other people think about you, but at the same time you still do, because that's also what fuels your fire. But not caring about what others' opinions are of you is one of the biggest things that I've taken along the way, just because I'm going to do things the way that I do it, and I'm going to make corrections along the way. And if someone else, obviously not coaches, but players and everything,
media,
exactly, media, other players, stuff like that. If they don't like the way I'm doing it, and it's not the way that they do it. Everyone's going to run their own race. Everyone has their way of doing things, and I would say for like younger athletes especially, just like accept your role, but within that role, challenge the role as well. So you're going to be in that role. You're going to be doing exactly what you should be doing, but you should always have it in the back of your mind that you should be doing more, and just keep elevating that to the next step, because if you know you're better and you should be playing more, then play the role that you're in now, but just keep challenging that role every single day.
I love that. And again, hearing it from you sounds a whole heck of a lot different too than, a coach will preach that.
Absolutely.
Tenfold, a parent will preach that. But if someone coming from someone like you who's been there, that's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. There's just a lot of guys out there that are probably too worried about what others think about them, and it sucks to see that, because it's just like, everyone's going to have their own race. Just run your own race, put your head down and work hard, and the rest will take care of itself.
So Flathead Valley, obviously, it always gets overshadowed by a Billings, by a Missoula, Great Falls, Helena, whatever it may be. Give me, though, how great is the Flathead Valley athletics-wise? What does the Flathead Valley excel at in your eyes?
I think just the backing, even just like when I went to the first baseball game for Glacier, every seat was packed in the whole thing, which is awesome to see. I'm like, this would have been so cool to have when I was in high school. But yeah, the backing and the support of, even if the teams are struggling, like you see all the gyms filled up, everything for every sport. And it's really cool to see that there's the big backing of, in Kalispell, people care about the sports here because, besides the range riders now, this is basically all we have here. So it's really cool to see that. And besides that, I think it's just there's really good athletes here, and there's really good coaches as well. I think shout out to the coaches in the whole valley because they're the ones developing these players, and they're going overlooked as well, which it's unfortunate. But there's really good coaches who help these players develop, not only physically but mentally, which is cool to see.
And then I know you went the Grizz pipeline, but you talked about the NAIA, and I want to ask you about this a little bit because even I would say in the last, from the time you graduated to now, the stigma around the JUCO route, around the NAIA route is changing in a positive way, I feel like, where it used to be looked down upon if, I'm going to play for Carroll. And it's like, no, that's huge. You're a collegiate. I mean, there was a guy from Carroll that just got drafted to the Packers a couple years ago. Talk to me about the stigma of going that route and what's it like to see that change in a positive way?
It's really cool to see that. Obviously, like I started at the D2 level, and like there was definitely people are like, oh, I don't know where that is. I've never heard of it. Blah blah blah. It's like I said, who cares? It doesn't matter. Just earning the opportunity to go play at any level is special. Like you look at the stats of people going from high school to college, and it's rare to see that, and to be able to say that you're one of those people is special. So. Like I said, that's kind of just where you're accepting that role. So like, just go and be the best version that you can be at wherever you're at. It doesn't matter where you're at. You gotta, no matter where you're at, just go be the best you that you can be. So it's really cool to see, all these players going to play, and that's a big thing of the Flathead Valley is you see a lot of players going to play at these lower levels, and there's no sweat on that. It's really cool because they go and they excel, and that's all you can ask for is to be the best version of yourself and to make plays.
Yeah, I was going to say, I love that too. Again, I love that the stigma around going that route is changed. I mean, there's a huge pipeline from Flathead Valley to a Western, to a Tech, to a Carroll. Shout out to Cooper Pelk from Glacier. He just signed with the Grizz too.
Yep, absolutely, yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's just awesome to see. Well, we haven't even got to your NFL career yet. Let's go ahead and get into that. So you graduate Glacier in 2017?
Yep.
Right? And then graduate the Grizz in, 21, 22?
22 because of COVID,
4 years ago, yeah. And then, so you've been in the NFL now for a couple of years. Take me through, what does it mean to play in the NFL? What's that like to call that your job?
Man, it's awesome, obviously. It's I'm so bad at like sitting down and just thinking about, my career and my time and stuff. It's just like, I still haven't sat down and processed it all, which is, I'm always on the go. I'm just go and work. So it's like, it's obviously amazing to be able to say that that's what I do. It's awesome for all the opportunities I get within the game, and to meet all these people and to have all these relationships is probably the most important thing to me. Making all these friendships with new players coming in and out, which is awesome. But just being able to stick in the same spot for now going on 4 years is it's awesome. And obviously I hope I can play in Seattle for as long as I can. It doesn't always work that way, but it'd be awesome to be able to stick around. But yeah, just being able to say that I'm an NFL athlete coming from Kalispell, Montana, it means the world to me.
And I think last time you were in the studio, you have another, I guess he's not a true Montanan as your teammate, but he's a cat, obviously, a Bobcat. What's it like to have a fellow Big Sky teammate on the roster?
Yeah, well, I think we actually have probably like 4 or 5 Big Sky guys, but yeah, as far as Ty goes,
Montana guy.
Yeah, actually, when we both signed to Seattle at the end of the draft, like he was the first one I called because we knew each other from playing, and we just had mutual friends and stuff so I was actually closer to him like my senior year at the Grizz, and I called him right away and I was like, "What's up, dude?" And I'm going to be joining you because I saw he already signed like 2 minutes before that. and obviously it was cool. So just being able to share those moments with him, and then we've been kind of growing and developing together through these last 3 to 4 years now, and obviously we both he played a huge role, but just we both have excelled our roles in on the team and everything, which is really cool. So we have a breakfast club every morning, me, him, and Drake Thomas. So
that's awesome.
We're the first ones in the building, and we just always share memories and share we're just good friends, which is awesome to have guys like that.
I don't think you can put it into words, but what does it mean to be a Super Bowl champion?
Oh, like I said, so I'm terrible at sitting down and processing it all, but it still hasn't hit me yet. But
you have the ring yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I don't know when we're getting those. I think it's sometime when we go back here soon. So that'll be awesome. Now I think once I get that ring, that's when it's really gonna hit me.
Gotcha.
I'm like, because like right now it's just like I have hats and T-shirts and pictures, and I can look at that, but I'm like, I want to look at that ring. No, obviously, reaching the pinnacle of the sport, it's awesome. Reaching the top of the mountain. I keep telling people though, it's like after the draft happens, it's like it feels like people are gonna be like, all right, it's on to the next one. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like the year just keeps going and going, and like new guys come in, and everyone's trying to battle for that next Super Bowl. So we're going to enjoy it while it lasts for sure. But, what a special moment.
And I was going to say, again, I mean, you talk about it a lot, but to be from middle of nowhere, Montana, Flathead Valley, a Grizz, to win a Super Bowl, I mean, to be able to wear, you talked about the pride of wearing Montana. Let's just go into that a little bit more. To do all this, be a Super Bowl champion, and, I mean, theoretically bring the Lombardi back home type of thing. How cool is that? I mean, again, can't really put that into words.
No, you can't. But like I said, you just take pride in that. Obviously, I take Montana with me where I go. Shout out to all the fans and all the just everyone that supported me along the way. I feel the support, the love, the everything along the way. So it's great to be able to represent Montana everywhere I go. And then, like I said, there's not a lot of people making it out from here, especially. And then there's not a lot of people winning the Super Bowl coming from here as well. And
you and Brock Osweiler, might be the only one.
Exactly. And then so it's just like, it's obviously an honor to be mentioned in there, and it's just like I don't even know how to explain it, just because all the hard work we put in this year, and like everyone it was like we knew we could win the game. It's just like once it happened, it was like we actually just won the Super Bowl. So
I just saw an interview with your head coach, because they're down doing their coaches meetings right now, and he talked about how he just watched the film of the game the other day, and the very first thing he goes is, well, we missed this dude in the flat. We missed this dude here.
Exactly. No, that's the same thing. Like I barely glanced through it, and I need to rewatch it too, because there's like stuff in there. I know obviously I missed a tackle on punt and made a couple on kickoff though, but there's some other stuff where I just completely, I'm like, why would I do that? So I need to rewatch it.
That's funny. And like you talked about, like growing up watching watching a Lex Hilliard, watching a Brock Osweiler. You talked about Brock Coyle being a mentor of yours. When you're a kid and you're watching TV and you go, "Ooh, I want to be like him." Now you have kids that are pointing their finger up and pointing at you on the television. I mean, that's pretty special.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the things that means the most to me. Just because I was in that same seat, I know exactly how they're feeling. I know the pride that they're taking, and they can say that. I mean, I've met a lot of kids in the Valley and stuff, so I've read to classes, read to schools, went and talked to schools and all that. So it's really cool that those kids be able to say, hey, I've met him, I've seen him, I've got his autograph, and now they're watching me on TV. So that really means something to me, and that's really special to me.
So, okay, I thought I asked you the hardest question. Maybe this one will be a little harder. Maybe it not. I don't know. What's better, winning a Super Bowl or beating the Cats?
Definitely the Super Bowl, I think.
Okay.
They both ended in a cigar, though, so that was cool. Just reaching the top of the mountain in the highest level, definitely. That was obviously better.
Well, let's talk about the Cat Grizz rivalry, because you've been able to experience it in multitude of ways, from growing up and watching it to actually playing in it, and now you get to sit back and watch it in a different light. Take me through the Brawl of the Wild, and take me through what's it like to not only actually live the rivalry, but now see it in the way you get to now. How special is that rivalry?
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. Obviously, just the whole hatred behind it, and between the fans, the players, coaches, everything. It's really cool. But the whole rivalry is obviously it's shifted from when I was younger, which sucks. But I was only able to win one of those. I was really only a part of 3 because I had to redshirt 1 year. But yeah, there's nothing. I think the thing that's okay. So obviously winning it is amazing, but the worst thing in the world is losing it because especially when you're at their place. I can't even. There's nothing worse than that. Obviously, just you're riding out on the bus and their fans are flipping you off, cheering, and it's just there's nothing like it. It's terrible. So yeah, obviously
that's also what makes it so great.
Exactly. Obviously, winning it is amazing, but losing it, it's terrible. Nothing like it.
How has the rivalry maybe how has it maybe changed in the way that you view it from when you're 10 years old watching it to when you're playing in it to now that you're watching it from a different limelight? How has maybe the rivalry changed in what you've seen?
I think for me, when I was younger, it honestly probably meant more than it does now, just because I had that like burning passion for everything Grizz and everything like that, and just obviously as time goes on,
there's a little more mutual respect now.
There is, yeah. You meet players and stuff, and that happens, but it's like you have all this stuff going on in your life, and it's like that's just one game basically. But obviously growing up, like that was like your whole we got to watch the rivalry this week, and that was awesome. So just in that perspective, it's changed like that. Obviously,
it's still the Super Bowl of the state.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It means everything to everyone in the state, which is awesome. And it should never change. It should always be like that. So I hope it stays like that forever. But yeah, just the way that the games have been going obviously sucks for me as a Grizz fan and all Grizz Nation. But yeah, growing up, obviously we were always beating them, which was awesome. And obviously, like I said, it flipped, so it sucks. But yeah.
Go into what's next for you. Obviously, you have from the time we're recording this a couple of more weeks before you head back to get ready for the next season. But take me through because you just signed a extension too, right? Or you're about to, or so it's in the works type of thing.
No,
what's those next steps for you?
Yeah, I signed a 2-year deal when I signed to the roster last year off the practice squad. So yeah, I'm under contract for this next up and coming year. Obviously right now in Montana and Kalispell, just training and working out and getting prepared for when we go back, and then hanging out with the family and doing all this stuff, been talking to auctions and events and stuff like that, which is cool. Like I said, just giving back to the community, which is obviously one of the most important things to me. So, yeah. And then after that, going back in here in a couple weeks, and, we start working out with the whole team, doing meetings and stuff, start installing stuff. And, yeah, once we get there, it's just bang, 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 and there's no stopping it.
Maybe too early to tell, but do you have a post-career lined up yet? Do you know what you're doing post-career, or are you just trying to live in the moment?
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously trying to live in the moment. I got a business degree and everything in Missoula. Got my MBA, and so something along that realm. But we'll see, however long I can play. Obviously, I'm going to want to. And hopefully I can just make a really long career out of it. But, yeah, just kind of living in the moment, putting all my eggs in this basket while I can, and, yeah, just relishing in it.
Well, I think that's all I got for you. Again, it's greatly appreciated for you to come on here and be able to, again, give back to a little old radio station here in Kalispell. But, yeah, thank you. The entire state of Montana is behind you. The entire Flathead Valley behind you, and hopefully you never have to buy a drink here in the Valley ever again.
That's right. That'd be awesome.
But thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. And, any last thoughts?
Oh, I don't think so. Just always support the local kids and do what you can. Obviously, there's a lot of kids out there that are working their tails off, and hopefully there's a lot more that can become more like me. And if I can just reach one kid and get into his pocket, with putting little tidbits of information and stuff like that, and that's all that matters to me. As long as one kid listens and someone becomes something, that'd be awesome.